good morning or afternoon. Whenever you're listening to this, good that time of the day.
I think it's your morning, my afternoon.
It's still afternoon.
True.
I didn't get my nap in, so.
Well, for half an hour, time to lay down.
Yes.
Snap.
All right, we got a new show. So let's just start, because I'm not going to do the whole, hey, welcome to the blah, 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 blah.
I like it. Incest in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Or afternoon.
Hold on.
My name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. Fucking atrocious.
Nothing makes a podcast like your dead brother who are chiming in. Okay, hold on. Wait.
Cool. Between you pouring wine and the cat almost falling off my desk.
I thought it was great. It was a great sound.
It is. That's a fantastic sound.
It sounded like me peeing
Yeah,
in a cup. Well, time for my urine sample.
So speaking of which,
I don't know what story you can come up with after my urine sample that you're going to have.
so every Wednesday we get shipments in from either the manufacturer or the warehouse.
Okay.
Depending. And the manufacturer being McLean. McLean is an awful distribution company.
Okay.
So, and there's two of them in the area. There's McLean, there's Cormark. And McCormark is a much better distribution company because they actually care about their clients, their business customers.
Okay.
And when they deliver stuff, they followed the rules of the company, meaning that when we get these totes, okay, so anytime that you go into a store and you see these big red totes,
yes,
you know,
that's
so,
your delivery of stuff.
Yeah, that's the delivery of a lot of stuff. Well, everything would be put into an appropriate spot, meaning that when they pack the totes, they would pack food with food, you know, detergent with detergent, you know, stuff like that. So,
like how I prefer people bag my groceries.
Exactly how actually you're supposed to do it, so it doesn't get any cross contamination. You don't get sick. So when I was working for Speedway, we would get food in with oil.
Oh,
yeah, oil
makes
products
total sense.
And, you know, like the STP engine treatment and whatever else. And yes, this is going somewhere with the whatever. Anyways, and I had made lots of complaints about that, saying you can't mix these two. It's against federal law, actually, because you're cross-contaminating. You're putting food in with
engine
gas treatment and, you know, caustic items. And they just look at me like, "Oh, really?
What?
You know what's going on." So this Wednesday, I'm unpacking all this stuff, and of course, you know, they put all the not all of them, but they put a majority of the cereal on the bottom. And then put everything else on top of the cereal, like canned foods. Like, who packs this shit?
Someone who obviously has never played Tetris.
I would have yelled at the McLean guys.
So is your cereal all crushed?
Yeah.
Do you send it back or do you just shelf it?
Yeah, we have to send it back.
Okay.
So, you know, which means that it's money out of our pocket.
Well, yeah, because you don't have it on the shelf.
Right. It's called shrinkage, is what it's called.
Well, also when you get into a cold pool.
Yes. You know, or if it's just a really cold day out. Or you're Irish. Anyways,
or it's a Tuesday.
Or it's a Tuesday for Mike. So I'm unpacking stuff, and we get these little silver... My cat is sitting stoically on my
like she
laptop,
belongs there.
looking like a statue.
Just rubbing her butthole on all your keys.
And now she's running away.
Yeah. Have you seen my butthole, Mike?
Yep.
Well, now it's on your keys.
Well, now she's going to cause lots of problems, and she's going to be a pain in the ass.
Well, welcome to having a cat.
She's trying to open the door. She's just not tall enough. You stretch it. Stretch out. I'm not going to do it, Mike.
Don't pay attention to me. Don't look at me what I'm doing. Don't look at me.
I'm going to jump on the sink and poop in it.
Oh, you're just going to shit on your bed.
She's had enough. Unless Bubba comes out. Bubba's her favorite. Every time because she can't go into his room. So every time he opens his door, she runs right to the bathroom and then tries to trip him. Make him forget that his door is open. Then she can run into his room and go under his bed. And he's got a rip in the bed. It's like a hammock.
Yeah.
And she gets under the bed and sleeps there.
Oh, weirdo cat.
Yeah. So getting back to it, there's these silver foiled packets. And they're about the size of a big ho-ho. If you know what a ho-ho is.
I'm very familiar. Yeah. When it came with the silver wrapper. Yeah.
And I'm looking at it, and it doesn't have a barcode on it or anything else like that. So I bring it back to pharmacy because it says employment pharmacy or employment.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it says pharmacy or pharmacist on the back. And I bring it down there, and I show them, and they're like, "No, just put this in the office." There's about half a dozen of them.
Why would pharmacy need a ho-ho?
They're drug tests.
Oh, okay.
So. And that's what brought it up. And I came home and I was telling everybody about it. I was like, I'm going to be really pissed if they don't select me for their random drug test. I opened all this stuff up. And I'm just like, you better select me. Is that weird?
You don't think I'm cool enough to do drugs?
Yeah.
Damn you. I can party too.
Yeah.
They're probably like, don't give it to Mike.
So
with all your meds, would it come back positive?
No.
Of like everything?
No, because they don't track for that stuff.
Tested positive for horse tranquilizers?
Yeah. Or heroin.
Steroids. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't have you on the steroids while you're working here.
Yeah. Well, what about the heroin? No, that's fine.
That's fine. We don't mind the heroin.
You cleared.
Just not the steroids.
Oh.
What was the one on the fucking dodgeball? Low-grade beaver tranquilizer. That's what it was.
It's bullshit.
It's total bullshit.
Thanks, Mark.
I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to that, but it's the best thing you've done so far. So those cuts he's using is our dead brother from an old-ass podcast weighing in on all of our shit. So we're just that demented.
He does have another opinion.
Oh.
Fucking atrocious.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Everything we do is fucking atrocious.
I appreciate
in his opinion.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
you haven't gotten a urine test yet?
No, because they came in Wednesday and Thursday, and our manager is gone by the time it's already put up. So, and then he had yesterday off. So Thursday, this is the day after we got our shipment in. I'm walking around, and I walk by the hand cleaner kiosk. You know, those wipes that they have,
yeah,
like for COVID and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So they have them out front, you know, and that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. It's people because let's face it, the carriages, if you want to call them that, the carts.
Yeah.
Whatever
Okay. Who calls them a carriage?
Back east, they call them carriages. Shopping carts.
Got it.
Get filthy.
The
dirty.
buggy.
Yeah, the buggy.
If you will.
Yeah, and that's what they're primarily there. They're to wipe down the
buggies.
Yeah, carriages. To wipe down the handles. And I walked by it, and it smelled like paint because it's just there's so much of it, and we had moved it, so it shook it up a little bit. And it's about 4 o'clock, and I walk over to one of the supervisors there, and I'm like, do you smell paint? And he's like, what? No. I was like, oh, I think I'm having a stroke.
I think it's burnt toast. Isn't it supposed to be toast?
Yeah. It's like, anyways, I'm gonna go take my break now.
I'm gonna go take my break. I'm having a mild stroke.
Yeah, can you cover me? I was like, are you sure you don't smell paint? He's like, no, I don't smell anything, but you know, my sense of smell is bad anyways, so I'm like, okay, maybe it is a stroke. I go and sit out in my car, and I'm having a cigarette, and supervisor, his name is Tony. Tony comes out and he looks at me and goes, are you okay? And I looked at him and I said, yeah, did you really think I'm having a stroke? He's like,
Yes,
yeah, I did. It's like, you were serious. You look like you were serious about it. So I went and told everybody.
So they haven't gotten used to your dry humor yet.
Right. So I walk in, and then, so I'm still outside, and one of the other supervisors came out, which reminds me. So his name is Tori, but somebody, one of the customers called him Troy.
Mm-hmm.
So now today when I go into work,
you'll be calling him Troy.
Hey, thanks, Troy. Thanks for all your work. Thanks for all your help.
Good.
And then that may piss him off, but, you know. I also floated around because Tori's one of these guys that he's got a dry sense of humor too,
mm-hmm.
but he also he'll just check out, and, you know, and then as he's walking around, he won't notice anything. He's just, you know, focused on whatever he's doing, whether it's, you know, stocking or doing resets or whatever. And one day he walked by, and I waved at him because he was going home, and he didn't even notice. He just walked out, and I'm standing next to this other guy. His name was Fred, and I look over at Fred, and Fred has become the focal point of all my, what do you call it?
Scorn.
Fuckery.
Ah, good. Okay. So he's getting all the things.
Yes.
Poor Fred.
Yeah. And Fred looks like Smiling Jack.
Oh, from Tropic Thunder?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Got the same haircut.
Do you make him happy? No, actually the opposite. I
It's
make
the
him the opposite of
Yes.
happy.
Ma. Don't go full. So every time I see Tori, he's ignoring me. I'll just walk by Fred like, I don't think Tori likes me too much. Every time. And Fred just takes the bait. He's like, oh, well, everybody likes you here, Mike. But he'll go and tell everybody.
Mike thinks Tori doesn't like it.
Yeah. And I'll literally talk to everybody. I talk to Tori, I talk to everybody, and I'll just literally say, you know what, every time I see Fred and you're ignoring me, I'll just look straight up and just go, I don't think Tori likes me. He's like, oh, I like you just fine. You're a nice guy, Mike. I'm like, yeah, I know.
It's funny to me.
It's funny. Because at some point, he's going to come and talk to you and go, are you and Mike okay?
Are you like the energy vampire at your work?
Yes. Yes.
Listen, Colin Robertson.
Yes. So I walk back inside, getting back to the whole stroke thing. I walk back inside and everybody's like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I was just fucking with Tony. It's like he's an easy mark. It's fucking hilarious. And then the big boss comes out and he's like, oh, I heard. Are you okay? Tony said I should have walked in limping.
Oh, yes. Just like dragging one arm. Like, I'm totally fine.
I couldn't do that to Tori. I'm
going to go back to work.
Yeah.
I'm like dragging it.
So I told the big boss the
just slurring.
Yeah. So I was walking by the hand cleaner thing.
Did anyone else smell it?
No, but when I walked by it yesterday,
yeah,
you could smell it. You could smell the paint or the fume, the alcohol.
How does nobody else smell that?
They're idiots.
Do they know how many cigarettes you smoked in your life? Like, you shouldn't be able to smell it.
Do you know how many cigarettes I smoked on my break?
Probably more than I've smoked in my whole life.
Probably. I've got to cut back. I really do.
You've been saying that since I can remember.
I go through these ups and downs with the whole smoking thing where, like, I'll smoke like 2 packs of cigarettes in a day and don't even realize I smoked it. And
I'm like, oh shit, how come I'm out of cigarettes?
How come I only have 1 pack of cigarettes left?
And then other days it's not so much.
Slap. Yeah, and then other days it's just 4.
The whole day?
Well, no, 4.
And you're like, why do I have a headache and I'm angry?
Yeah. Why am I having a stroke?
Why do I smell paint?
Yeah.
And toast?
Yeah, and that's what I told him. I said, it's not the paint. Like, if you start smelling toast, then you're in trouble.
I wonder how they figured that out, because I don't think I ever remember in the past that being an indicator of stroke. And then all of a sudden now I've heard of that. So somewhere along the line, someone must have said, oh, it was really weird because I thought I smelled toast. And then some other person said, oh, yeah, me too. And then they're like, dude, it's the toast.
Well, basically, I mean, somebody went to a doctor and said, hey, I think I have a problem. And the doctor's like, and then he was probably sitting there. He's like, do you smell toast? And the doctor went, what the fuck are you talking about?
Do you think if I start like making toast, like sneak out, get like up really early and start making toast in the kitchen, and then I somehow figure out a way to pinch a nerve in Nick's arm, I can make him think that he's having a stroke?
It would have to be in I think it's the left arm.
Okay, good to know. I'm like, I don't know, my left arm's weird. Do you smell toast? And I'll be like,
left or right?
Nope. You smell toast? Mm-mm. No, I don't, sir. I do not.
Should do that to Gus.
Poor Gus. He suffers greatly sometimes.
Yes.
At my hands. Poor guy.
Poor kid.
Yeah, he was up early this morning. He was a 6 a.m.er today.
Oh.
Yeah, woke me up at 7 a.m.
Why?
Because he didn't want to be sitting out there by himself, I guess. He figured it was time for me to get up.
No.
I don't know. He fell asleep at like 2 yesterday. Woke up at 6 a.m. Sounds like great sleep to me. Yeah. It sounded amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, he woke up and he was like, I'm hungry for breakfast. I'm like, fantastic.
Then make some.
Yeah, he did. He found himself something to eat.
Yeah. There's cereal.
Yesterday, he was up early too, but when I walked into the kitchen in the morning to make a cup of coffee, he was eating cold French fries out of a container with a fork. It's like living with Bigfoot.
I used to love cold pizza. I can't eat it anymore.
I could eat cold pizza. Depending on the pizza.
Yeah.
It doesn't really bug me. Cold Chinese food I can do sometimes, depending on the Chinese food. The rest of it I gotta heat up.
Yeah.
I can't do that shit.
So anyways, that's my stroke story.
Having the stroke.
Yeah.
Stroking off.
Yeah.
Mike's just stroking off at work.
Yep. Every day.
Every day. All day.
For 7 hours a day.
All right. Well, let's bust into this wine review.
Okay.
So I can stop pouring this into my cup. Hold on. Wait. And now it's time for our grocery outlet wine review with Heather. So again, this is one of our grocery outlet wines that I picked up. Of course, we are not sponsored, even though they lovingly liked one of my videos on TikTok. I suppose I probably have to make another one and tag them in it. I tagged them in the whiskey one, but I didn't have any response yet. I think maybe I'm just bothering them at this point. So anyways, we have, for our enjoyment this afternoon, a lovely $3.99 Pinot Grigio. So again, talking about those crisper whites. This one has been refrigerated since last time we had a podcast because I brought it here and stuck it in the fridge. This one is called Open Skies.
Like the last podcast or the one 4 years ago?
Oh, no, the last one.
Oh.
Because I got like 4 wines at one time that were on. And this one was also part of the 20% off sale.
Okay.
So I got that going for me too. This one just says it's from California. So I found that interesting because it didn't really specify a location. I'm like, well, it's got to be in the information. No, I'm Cajun.
It's a bullshit.
It's a bullshit. It's the bullshits. So I looked at the side of the bottle because usually they'll tell you like where the grapes are grown, where they've bottled it. All it says is it's bottled for Universal Wine in Livermore and Ripon, California. I don't know where these grapes are from, dude. They could literally be from like some scumbag's backyard, but they bottled it in Livermore or Ripon. I got Mike enough that he's actually laughing. So for those of you who are unaware, and like, because this is not in video, I can't show you a map. Ripon is a tiny, tiny town located right in between the beautiful cities of Modesto and Manteca.
Yes.
So if you are traveling down the 99 in California, you can go through Manteca, which is great, and also is Mexican for lard, and then hit Ripon for some fine wine, and then bust straight on into Modesto, which is also a really great tourist destination. It like reminds me of those. Have you ever seen those joking like reels on Instagram or anything? And it's like these beautiful mountains and sparkling lakes, and it's like all this in Bakersfield, and you're like, oh yeah, that's what it is. Well, yeah, that's pretty much the same type of thing. That's like the gate. Modesto's like the gateway to Middle Earth going down there. It's like the next stop is Fresno, and then hell, I think is
visit lovely downtown Coalinga.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Like, you know what? The whole county of Kern, best place to visit. Where's the one place you gotta make sure that everybody you visit before you die?
Fresno.
Kern County.
Palmdale.
You've been there. It's so bad. It's like, well, if you go to the other side of the state and be like, ooh, Hesperia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's like more towards the Southern California, but towards the desert. Hesperia and, what's up, like the Apple Valley area. Nasty. Very nasty.
I'm trying to think. Anything east of San Diego. Barstow. Visit lovely downtown Barstow.
Like, have you been to Imperial County? It's really great. We actually, for years ago, I had a client, and it was, I asked somebody where even their school district was, and someone said, go down to San Diego, drive to the border, make a left, and keep going.
Yep. Is
what the directions were. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the border town in San Diego is great fun.
Yeah, it totally is. Hey,
It's a bullshit.
I've been over to Tijuana before through there, so I'm familiar.
Yeah, I've been to Tijuana once.
So anyways, Ripon, great place for bottling wines. So this one...
My guess is that they get all the grapes off the ground between the freeway in Livermore to Ripon.
From Livermore at the Bay, like maybe Napa stuff comes down, and then interior to Ripon, and then it's just whatever. Like, have you ever been behind like a tomato truck and a tomato falls off?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's like it scatters in the ground.
Yeah, they just have road crews along the road.
Yeah, that's our wine road
side
crew.
Of the freeway, just using shovels.
Highway cleanup, courtesy of Universal Wines.
Yes.
It's
open skies.
By open skies. It's open skies because it's all the beautiful vastness that's between Livermore and Ripon, California.
Yeah, all the grapes that are on the ground.
Exactly. So this one, like I said, was $3.99. The ticket, the sign said, typically it would be $7.99. However, I will tell you that upon looking for comparables, I did find that it's currently on sale at Target for $4.99. So get y'all a discount on your Circle app.
Go to the Target.
So you can go to the Target and get yourself a little deal on that. Although they did say that originally it was $7.99 as well. So we're just going to go with the $7.99. So consensus is on this. It's not bad. First sip is going to be like, no, this was a bad idea. Never go off the first sip. Second sip was a little bit better as you get a little bit more into it. I get more of like, it's going to sound weird,
Cinnamon.
like citrus peels. No, citrus peels, but it's not as bitter like you would have in some like spirits or liquors of pith. You know, I've had like a gin that's kind of like a grapefruity, pithy flavor sometimes, but
I don't know what pithy tastes like.
You know, when you're peeling an orange and it's that white shit that's still stuck to it, that's the pith.
Like a pith helmet.
Or a pith test. Which again was what I was peeing into this cup.
Pith helmets are those things that the Livingston. Dr. Livingston.
I thought you were going to say a piss helmet. And
No,
I'm like, please
piss.
don't pee on someone's head like that.
It's a piss helmet.
A piss helmet. Yeah, that's what I said. P-I-S-S, piss helmet.
That too.
Just pee all over it.
I'm not playing Mike Tyson here.
So I got a lot of the peels. And then if you've ever taken a cigar before it's lit and put it in your mouth, the taste of the cigar wrapper a little bit. I had that on like the first couple of sips.
It's pithy.
After that, it's kind of even out. I don't know if it's just because it's gotten some air on it. It's had a chance to breathe. But now it's just become very easy drinking. It's not heavily fruity. Again, it's more citrusy. And it's not bad.
Pith in your mouth.
This is an absolute pool wine. Throw this bad boy in the freezer. Drink this while you're just sitting out on the porch, maybe with people that, you know, you don't really try to oppress. You just want to have some white wine to sip on. Could make a great sangria.
Okay. I'm not a drinker.
Also that.
I keep saying that.
So I'm going to say for $3.99, this is a good drinker.
Okay.
I wish I would have bought 2 bottles. I could have put it in my freezer tonight.
So it's a casual drink for weekends and summer holidays when you're sitting by a pool or in a jacuzzi.
For middle-aged old ladies.
For middle-aged old ladies.
Like me.
Or.
It's I give 2 thumbs.
Or.
Like me. And me. And me. And me.
Fucking atrocious.
That's exactly what he would think.
Thanks, Mark. All right.
So
I heard that you went on a vacation.
I did. It wasn't really a vacation yet. The vacation's coming. I was actually just going to say, like, I have like a really itchy spot on my finger that like I itch too much. And I was going to say maybe it's just residual bed bugs.
That's probably what it is.
So for those of you who don't know, the current career I'm in, I do travel quite a bit for work. And
that's why we can do this now.
It's not amazing travel. It's not like I'm like, ooh, I'm going to a really interesting state, or wow, look at me, I've got to go to another country and peddle my wares, or
ooh, I'm going to Ripon.
I'm going to Ripon.
Like, ripping.
Rip on. You know, it is, and that's in when I was a consultant previously.
I'm gonna go vacation in Kern County.
Yeah, everybody would be like, I'm so jealous you get to go on the road all the time. I'm like, do you want to see pictures of where I'm actually going? People are like, yes. So I started posting like side of the highway in San Joaquin County and things like that, and Stanislaus County, which is not the state's best example. Is kind of like Kern.
The needles on the ground.
Yeah, I go to the most glamorous places. Well, luck be have it. I did need to go to Santa Cruz, and so
luck be a lady.
I'm like, Santa Cruz is cool. Like, I haven't been there in a while, but I like the coast. And when I do this, I don't often get to like actually see the ocean. So it's not like I went and was able to see the beach or the ocean or anything like that. But we had to do a lot of meetings, and my business partner and I decided we were going to stay the night because we didn't want to make the almost 4-hour drive back. Anytime, if you leave after 2:00 from anywhere in that San Jose-ish, Bay Area, Santa Cruz-ish, Monterey, you are a good 4.5 to 5 hours home.
I guess I'm just a worrier.
Exactly. It's bad. So you either have to leave
coming
early
back from Santa
or
Cruz
fucked.
On, was it
17 is that windy highway.
Yeah, and then it used to be a 2-lane highway.
You go 17 to the 680.
Oh, that's awful. It's the worst highway ever.
It's not the best
in history.
So we decided to stay, and a while ago I booked us a hotel. And I looked because I don't want to spend our money, as we're a burgeoning business and, you know, a small company, spend our money on like a fancy hotel. And I don't need a fancy hotel. My partner Travis doesn't need a fancy hotel, so I just try to find something that isn't like the worst reviewed, maybe not like the cheapest, and it might be pretty good. So I landed on this cool place called the Surf City Inn, and I was like, hey, it's pretty close to the boardwalk. We're not going there, but I thought, hey, beachy vibes and not real expensive. We don't care. Like, we've stayed in the shittiest. We grew up in shitty houses. Like, it doesn't matter to us. Like, we're pretty able to stay in a lot of places. And it had like a couple shit reviews, but even the nice hotels get shit reviews too. It wasn't a horrible star review. I mean, there was a couple, but whatever. That happens. And it wasn't the least expensive. And I'm like, okay, this sounds good. Booked us a night. And I evidently made a fucking error in my booking. Now, I have since then found that there's people that have stayed there that really enjoyed it. So I don't know if they just saved like the shittiest room for me or the shittiest time for me or something about my face just angered them. I'm not sure, but it was so bad.
It was this.
It was just is there, can I fix it? Is there something about the no? I just want to punch you in your face, just the whole face. So it was bad enough that finally, with the day we left, I told Travis, I said, okay, I'll write a bad review about this. Because normally I wouldn't. I would just be like, oh my God, I'm not. And I don't write reviews on stuff ever. So we decided that this was going to need like a whole novel review of it from start to finish. So did you want me to kind of go over the highlights or?
Oh, you can read the whole entire Yelp review if you want to.
Maybe we can link it somewhere and then they can read the Yelp review if they want to. But it's, basically, when we got there, it looks like what you would picture a shitty old beach town hotel. Like this place was probably built in the 60s or whatever. But whatever. So we go in to check in, and there's nobody at the front desk. The door's locked, and there's a sign that says, please use kiosk. Oh, kiosk? What the fuck is this? So there's like this kiosk thing. It looks like a weird little ATM. But I walk over to it. There's a lady already there, and there's a screen, and there's an Asian gentleman on the video screen with a headset on, talking to her through like a video call. And all I catch from it was, okay, if you could go ahead and put your ID down on the scanner, I'll scan that. Okay, can you put your credit card down on the scanner? I'll scan that. And I look at my buddy Travis and he was like, is this like identity theft kiosk? And I was like, I think it is. It's like, oh, please go to our very convenient identity theft kiosk. Please scan your ID. Please scan your credit card. What'd you say your mother's maiden name was again? What was the last four of that social? Like, it was bad. So I'm like, this looks sketchy. And then right then some dude came and's like, I can help you inside. And I'm like, oh, thank Jesus. So the guy, very typical distracted cheap hotel thing, gets us checked in and says, hey, upgraded you guys to the suite. And I'm like, what about us said that we needed to be upgraded to the suite? And originally I just booked like the 2 beds. We stay in the same room. It's not a big deal for us. We're like brother and sister. So he said it's got 2 bedrooms. And we're like, oh, well, fancy. Okay. It wasn't really 2 bedrooms. It was just like if you had a suite and somewhere where you had like a living room space, instead they put a king size bed there. And then there was a separate little back bedroom that had like a queen size in it. Whatever. So we got in, and the first thing I go to like pull the curtains because there were some trashy fucking people there. They were like living out of their cars, families all over, trash on the ground and shit. No elevator, by the way. So I had to haul my, Royal Highness's matched luggage up the goddamn stairs.
Royal Highness's matched luggage.
And she wouldn't leave without it. So I get that shit up the stairs, and we get in, and I'm going to close the window because he was like, which bedroom do you want? And I was like, I don't care. And he was like, well, this one, the king size, is closest to the air conditioning. He knows that I run like hot like a wildebeest. So he's like, I can open the window in the back. I'll just go into the back bedroom. Great. Sounds good. I go to shut the curtains, and there's like the sheer curtains, and there's these huge rusty red stains on it. I was like, dude, come out here and look at this. I assume it was blood.
I was gonna say,
or weird chocolate.
The shadow.
I can't hear you on my ears. You're still off.
I was gonna say there's a shadow behind it. Some guy just standing there.
Could have been. So we were like, I even have a picture of him like making a weird face that I didn't put on the Yelp review. So that was number one. We shut the curtains so people can't look in on us, and we just needed to chill for a little bit before we got dressed and headed to our meeting. So he goes in to use the bathroom, and he's like, you need to come in here and look at this. I'm like, oh no, this can't get any worse. And the shower curtain rod looks like somebody tried to hang on it. And like one of the sides just like gave the fuck way. It was so lopsided. The tub was disgusting. The light switch was fucked up. and you could tell somebody had ripped the toilet paper holder out of the wall, and they'd like put it back in at a different spot, and all they did was like spackle and then like white paint over the other area, except for the back paint was blue. So big old spots on it. And I'm like, this is terrible. So he does that, and then he goes into his room, and I hear, oh my God, come look at this. And I go, what is it? And he's like, there's a whole bunch of black hairs on my bedspread. There was a chunk of black hairs. And I'm like, well, maybe it's just oops, the housekeeper. Like my hair falls out all the time. So maybe her hair just accidentally fell out. Like, no big deal. He's like, okay. Also, I should mention, which I didn't have pictures of in the review, was he said, oh, look, it came equipped with a desk. And in his bedroom, there was a desk and a chair, but the desk was probably lower than this TV tray. So like a regular TV tray, the desk was even probably like a foot lower. Like the chair that they provided was at the very lowest, and it couldn't fit under the desk. So it must have been like, I don't know, a desk for midgets or something. I digress. So we just kind of chill for a little bit, and I'm wearing my flip-flops around because I'm scared now. And it was so low frills, you can't even imagine. And then as we start to get ready to like go to our meeting, I hear him like shriek like a little girl. And he goes, oh my God, I went to go walk around the bed and a big chunk of hairball came out from under the bed. I said, homie, there is no under the bed. There's just a box. Where did this hair come from? He's like, I don't know. He went and picked it up with like, he got like a stir stick from like the coffee area and picked it up. And it was this huge black hairball on the floor. It was like long hairs all matted together. It was so gross. He's like, ugh. Okay. So now he's wearing his flip-flops inside. We get dressed and we go to leave for our evening meeting. And as soon as we came out, because we're in like suits, right? Everybody gets quiet. That's out in the parking lot, that's hanging around, and they're kind of side-eyeing us. And I'm like...
Scatter.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I feel like we're really out of place as we come out of here. He's like, dude, and no one is looking at us. Like, they're all going inside. I go, what do they think we are? And he goes, I don't know, social services? ICE? I have no idea. And I'm like, oh my God. So they probably thought we were social services coming to bust everybody. So we go to our meeting, and then we go have dinner, which was really nice. And we come back. Not one fucking spot to park in the whole place. Like, we had to park like on the side of a building, like adjacent a giant dumpster, because there was no other place to park. Thing was packed. And so I was like, well, for as shitty as this is, like, it's super packed. Like, that's interesting.
It's a popular place.
It's a popular place, but we get there and there's just still like
hookers.
Noise and everything. We go in to go to bed, and I can sleep anywhere really. And I didn't have problems in my bed. So like, we just went to bed. And then it was probably like, I don't know, midnight or so. And I have sleep apnea. So I had like my whole mask thing on, and I'm laying in bed with my mask thing on, watching TikToks, trying to fall asleep. And I hear this pounding on the door, just like, and I have to like turn off my TikToks. I'm like, oh no. And I stop it, cause like Travis is in the other room, but I'm like, oh, okay, not our door. And then I hit play on my TikToks again, and then I hear it again, and I'm like, I have to pause it again. Like, oh no, not my door. Hit it again. No, not my door. And I hear some guy yelling something about having the baby and nobody's answering the door. He's beating on this door. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And so I just finally, like, it stopped. I fell asleep.
You should have pulled the Stewie. She's cheating on you.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up. So I just go to sleep. Anyways, so as the morning time comes, and I hear something in the bathroom. And so I take off my snorkel mask, and I look over, I go, homeboy, are you taking a shower? Oh, that was the other thing. He had to take a shower the night before because he always showers. And he was scared to have the shower curtain touch him. So I guess he was just taking like a shower, like moving as little as possible so that he didn't touch the wall or the shower curtain. I'm like, okay, great. So I get up, and I was like, homie, are you taking another shower? And he was like, no, I am not taking another shower. And I'm like, well, what are you doing in there? And he was like, he rips the door open and he goes, I had to wash my side. And I was like, why'd you have to wash your side? And I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, well, I was laying in my bed, and all of a sudden I felt something on my side. And all I could think of was like, oh my God, please don't be a tick. Please don't be a flea. Is this a bed bug, or is this a flea? Is it a tick? Flea or tick? Flea or tick? He goes, and finally I got up the courage, and I put my hand there, and I grabbed it, and I pulled it over here, and I opened my hand to look at it, and I had my phone with the flashlight on it, and it's a piece of chip. I said, okay. And he goes, I didn't eat any fucking chips in the bed, Heather. I was like, we haven't had any chips this whole trip. And he's like, no, we have not. And I was like, oh, fuck, okay. As soon as I heard that, I just immediately got out of bed. I just started getting dressed. I'm like, well, we're just going to get the fuck out of here. And so while I'm doing that, I go to tell him something, And I look, and he's got towels laid down all along where he was laying on the bed and over his pillow. And I go, homie, you also laying on top of towels and got a chip? And he goes, well, I don't forget what time it was, but I started sleeping, and I swear to God, the whole pillow smelled like pesticides. You know that pesticide smell? And he goes, and I was like, oh God, well, at least they treated it, but that means it was bed bugs. So I just put the towels down. I just couldn't take it. He's like, I've still got a chip tucked in my side. I was like, oh God. And he goes, that's it. I'm stripping this whole bed, so at least the next people, maybe they'll have clean sheets. He rips all of the sheets off while I'm standing there, and I'm like in like cutoff shorts, flip-flops, and like a tank top, like a total jackass at this point. Rips all the sheets off, and there's this huge yellow stain in them, and they had a mattress cover over it too, but it's on the mattress cover. This huge stain. I didn't have any of these issues in my bed. I just want to say that. But still, I mean, I probably could have slept through it anyways. I didn't strip my sheets. It was a huge yellow stain. I thought he was going to vomit right there. He's just
dry heaving.
Oh, God, it was so bad. And then he's like, that's it. So he goes in. He's like, I'm going to go pee. Load the car up. And I was like, okay. So he comes in and he comes back out again. And he was like, gets right in my face. And he's like, and I just want you to know, there's a blood spot on the wall behind the toilet. I was like, no, there can't be. And he goes, yes, there is. So I go in and I was like, maybe it's a nail hole. And he goes, it is not a nail hole. And so I had to go in and take a picture of it's not a nail hole. It's like an actual like dark brown blood stain.
A mole.
The wall. And then I went to go get something else. I picked up my high heels off of the ground and I realized there's chip crumbs all underneath the desk on the floor too. And there was like, I think I found where your chips came from. So obviously it hadn't even been vacuumed. It was the fucking worst. So we were like, that's it. So we just packed everything up and we were out of the room before 8, like gone. And as we're starting, like now we got to carry all our shit back down the stairs again. No elevator, right? And we get about 2 steps down and I'm looking at everything else, looking around to see if there's anybody out. Still trashy, still fucking trash all over the parking lot and everything. And he's a few steps ahead of me and I'm looking around. All of a sudden I hear, hey, look out for the dirty diaper. I'm like, what? And I'm stepping and I just barely missed it. Almost put my foot right in the middle of this fucking dirty diaper right on the stairs to go down. I'm like, oh shit. I almost fell down the stairs dodging it. So we were like, okay, we're out of here. And then also, you know, go to get it in the car and there's some open cans of like fruit cocktail that now are on the side of the building as well that weren't there when we parked. So somebody was hanging out on the side of the building eating fruit cocktail out of the can.
Having dinner. Yeah,
needless to say, we will not be staying at the Surf City again. I also recommend maybe, he's like, couldn't you just not, we're driving through, he's like, look at that one, it's like the Super 9 or something like that instead of the Super 8, it's a Super 9. He's like, looks better than the Surf City. I'm like, fuck you, Surf City. It still wasn't the lowest price. He's like, what about Motel 6? I'm like, Motel 6 was cheaper, but they're usually bad too, so I just didn't. At least it wasn't carpeted. It had that like that laminate that tries to look like wood, so like bed bugs can't live in the rug or something. Like, I think this was like one
stickers,
barely like a half a step up from Foothills Motel here in town before the last renovation.
Right.
Yeah, it was that bad. Maybe like the Oakwood, you know, the place that used to have the weird pool in the front that they filled in. It was like the Oakwood of Santa Cruz. And there's people staying there. Like,
I just wanted to know,
the parking lot was packed.
Who thought it was a good idea to put a pool in the parking lot?
I don't know. Well, and that's okay. So with Surf City even, like we're like, he goes, I thought this place said it had a pool. And I was like, it said it did. And then we went and parked and realized it's all an indoor pool. It's like, but it's not big. It's like a pool house almost, but I could see like the thing. And I was like, do you want to go look at the pool? He goes, absolutely not. No, we're not going to go even look. I don't even want to open the door to the pool. No.
I would have.
No. He didn't want to. He was like, absolutely not. And so I post like this review. I did a big Yelp review and I also did a review on hotels.com, which is where I booked it through. And I posted the link on my Facebook and I had a friend that was like, we just went and stayed there a couple of months ago. The kids loved it. They love the indoor pool. And I'm like, what'd you do to your children? But she said it was super clean and she had like no problems. She was like, oh yeah, it was great. We got a suite, but like they got a bigger suite. They had like 3 beds or something. I'm like, not the experience I had.
Maybe new owners. And
I looked through some of the reviews and there's actually some that were like, we really like the convenient kiosk for check-in. I'm like, oh, you might as well just cancel your credit cards right now, bitch. Just cancel them right now.
I really like the convenient identity theft kiosk.
It is convenient to get your identity theft right there at a kiosk and not have to like go through the motions of like talking to somebody on the phone from India or, you know, giving your money to like the the prince that needs it.
Nigeria.
The Nigerian prince.
Thanks
it's just right there at a kiosk. Yep. I don't even have to draft any email back.
Fantastic.
Dear Nigerian prince, I cannot wait for you to meet me here in the United States.
Here's all my credit card information.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like my social security number too?
Or like my 80-year-old aunt. I don't know. Somebody called and said they had a problem with the computer, so I just logged in and then I gave them access to it. Oh, God!
Fantastic. It's like those commercials for Rocket Money or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Here, I'm just going to put this app on your computer or on your phone, either or. And then, oh, yeah. Now here's all your finances. Like, it's not that easy, but okay.
No. Well, or God, I was just thinking when you were saying the Rocket Money app, you put something on your phone that does that. There was another app thing that had something like that. And I was like, oh my God, that was a terrible idea.
People that put their credit cards on their phones, have fun with that.
Yeah.
Because if you lose your phone, I now have all your credit card information.
That's true. Mine actually, like, there's one, I think it's like my ATM card or something, and I have to like do the Face ID for it to get information or pay with it. So
there's ways around that.
I'm sure there is. Well, all they'd really have to do is use my oldest son. They're like, just hold up the Face ID, have him shave, and then hold the Face ID up to his face, and he'd probably unlock it. Poor kid.
Bing. There you go.
So, but you, when I messaged you, or you saw the review, you were like, "Oh, that sounds like the Fairfield Inn." And I'm
Fremont.
Like, Fremont Inn.
Here's a picture of it.
Oh, you brought up a picture.
So
that looks not bad.
That's from the 60s.
Oh.
So see these doors right here?
Yes.
For people that are looking on the far left, there'll be a photo in the podcast or YouTube, whatever. When you're watching it, you'll see.
By the way, the photo montage was something else,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
So, like, the fourth door in is where Dad and I stayed.
Okay.
In the 90s. So, the Fremont Inn in the 90s was a shit hotel. It was absolute trash. So, the photo that we're looking at is straight on from. There's an awning with rock pillars. It's not really rock, but and it's supposed to go into like the manager's office. Well, that had turned into a strip club. This is separate from the hotel. And behind what I'm going to call the strip club is where the manager's room is, or the manager's office is, where you check in. So when we showed up, I didn't want to do it. And basically Dad was like, "Where's your sense of adventure?" I was like, "Not here." not at the Fremont Inn. Not getting killed.
What you're saying. Yeah. See, this is probably why Dad and I got along. It was like, "Hey, it's Surf City. How bad can it be?" Fucking bad.
Yeah, it's
really
terrible.
Fucking bad.
So Dad's like, "Oh, this is a terrible spot, so let's just stay here." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I didn't fight it. It was just like, whatever.
To come to Dad's defense, that was before the raging bedbug epidemic.
Yes. So when we parked, there was a van that was parked out front, and then I'm saying this now because everything else looked normal. So this is like mid-afternoon. We had showed up in San Jose because we got some stuff to do at one of the manufacturing facilities in town, and Dad didn't want to fight traffic. So
okay.
You get that. So we go upstairs, and the third door in, the door handle's missing, and the door is bolted shut.
Good.
And Dad looks through the door handle hole. He's like, And I look through the door handle hole, and there's like blood, and the room's never been cleaned. So I don't know if this is recent or it's just been sitting there.
Murder scene.
And he turns and looks at me and he goes, "I'm really upset that there wasn't an outline of a dog and a cane in there," and just kept moving on. So just from Naked Gun, So there was a murder that had happened in the room next to ours.
Good.
So we go in the room, get some food, go to bed, get up, shower, do our thing. Not together. That's important. And leave. As we're leaving, that van is out front again, but the back doors are open, and it's full of copper. So the guy's going around to all the construction sites stealing copper.
They stay at the Fremont Inn.
Yeah. So we drive around. We drive around I don't know why Dad decided not to just back out and go. He drove around the complex and came out one of the sides, the side, of the hotel. And there's like full on 3 families. I'm sorry, 1 family, but there's enough people for like 3 families living in 2 of the apartments.
Yes.
Or 2 of the rooms.
I think that's
maybe
what's happening
more.
at the Surf City.
And the doors were open and the kids were playing.
Yeah.
And I just looked over at Dad and was just like, isn't it a school day? Like, what are these people doing? So we go off and do our thing. We come back and the van is still in the same spot. And all the people that are there are still doing their thing and being raucously loud and whatever else. Dad's wiped out from the day. And we go upstairs, go to the room, and he opens the door, and nothing's been cleaned. Oh, the beds haven't been turned down, nothing. Towels, whatever else. Dad just gets on the phone and goes, clean up this fucking room. Because that's Dad. And we leave. The problem is, so I asked Dad if he wanted to go to the strip club for dinner. And he's like, no, like, where's your sense of adventure?
You just told me sense of adventure.
Yeah.
You have a sense of adventure,
like,
sir.
I wouldn't go in there on a bet. It's like, they probably got good steak or spaghetti.
Well, or chicken strips, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe a nice club sandwich.
But I thought it was funny that they turned the manager's office, the check-in place, into a strip club.
Hey, you got to make money somehow.
And apparently there was a pool.
Oh.
I never got to see the pool. So they must have...
Maybe they filled it in.
Yeah.
Maybe they filled it in. So here's my question, is why was Dad under the impression that your room would be cleaned over the evening when they still left like a murder scene in the air next to it?
Well, he expected the towels to be at least like fresh towels delivered to the room.
I don't even let people come in clean when I'm staying in a room. I don't even let them come in.
Well, we don't leave anything in the room.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's
except
true.
for clothes.
Yeah.
But, if they want to take the clothes, we can replace that.
Yeah.
We don't leave, wallets.
Well, I have like makeup and stuff that I don't want to take in. Shoes.
I get that, but we only wear one pair of shoes. We're guys.
Yeah,
we don't
that's
bring
true.
multiple shoes.
That's very true. Very true.
For the most part. I mean, there are times where you have to dress up and yada, 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 but,
So out in Marysville, there's this hotel right when you come over the bridge. And I'm gonna preface by saying I have actually never been in this hotel. But there was a swimming pool. And in front, there's a building separate from it. It's like the doors on the outside type thing. And evidently, it used to be like a restaurant bar. And it had access to where you could see inside the pool. Because the pool, like, you went like downstairs and you could see inside the pool. It's like a window to see inside the pool.
Is it the Senator Hotel?
Back in the day. It's literally...
Is it the one that burned down?
No, it's worse than that.
Oh.
No, that was actually a really nice building in its day. We'll have to look it up. I thought it was like budget in for a while or something like that, but it could be totally wrong. Anyways, I don't know whatever happened to the pool, but I do know that years later, I was down there for work for something and I went by and it was the motel, which looked like it was actually like a squat house, like a trap house, like a whole trap house of hotel. And the little restaurant bar thing was now a Chinese food and barbecue. And all I can think of was like, there's no way you could ever get me to eat there. It looked so disgusting. And now I think the restaurant's closed. I don't even think the hotel's open anymore.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But it was gross. And all I could think of was like that disgusting. And you get to see the people that are like swimming in there. No.
It could be the Comfort Suites Inn.
I mean, I'd know it if I saw it. It just made me think of when you're like, there's a pool and then there's a strip club. And I was like,
the Dragon Inn?
No. There used to be a place where you could look inside the pool and then it became like a Chinese food and barbecue. It's like
it's a hotel with a Chinese food place.
Guaranteed food poisoning. Just right at the gate. 100% money back guarantee if you don't have a cockroach in your food. Like that's what it is. It's like you don't complain that there's a cockroach in your food. You just know that you're going to have a cockroach in your food.
Peach City Inn?
No.
Rio Inn?
No. That's more towards Oliverst.
Well, there's a Holiday Inn Express. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Now I got that one.
Of course.
Well, it's the Budget Inn.
It's the Budget Inn. And okay, so I just pulled the Budget Inn up.
You have to read that review.
In Marysville. Okay, so there's one. Okay, this is how I fell victim to Surf City probably a month ago. Somebody gave this motherfucker a 5-star. And it looks like the restaurant building is up for lease right now. But this review was 2 years ago. And honestly, it hasn't, I don't think it's improved. And like I said, the restaurant building's for sale. Horrible. Roaches all over the walls.
That's probably where the fucking
thing was to see under the pool?
Yeah.
Maybe. Roaches all over the walls, no shower curtain, no glasses to get a drink of water, toilet paper sitting on back of filthy, completely broken down toilet. Bed sheets had footprints on them.
That's
leftover food left in room.
What?
Oh my God. Balancing on a light. Oh, horrible smell. I had a terrible back spasm and needed to lay flat. That is the only reason I agreed to the room. At $100 for the night, I should have gone to the ER instead. The health department needs to shut this filthy place down. Dog poop outside my door, always blocked with junk. Complete health and safety hazard. That's gorgeous.
Fucking atrocious.
That is fucking atrocious. Now, if you can imagine, 2 years ago, when that review was written, is when there was a fucking restaurant adjacent to it that was selling Chinese food and barbecue.
This is almost like the Fremont Inn, except the difference is...
That would be a strip club?
Yeah, that would be a strip club.
That would be amazing. Actually, if they put a strip club there, you'd probably have better business.
Yeah.
They'd probably have enough money to keep it up.
And as we're looking at it, you'll see the picture in the show. There's a window, right? It's basically at hip level, and it's barred, or it's got a grate type of thing on it. So that's probably where the pool is. We can't get in to the parking lot. But yeah, that's the office.
Is it the office?
Yeah.
I swear to God, my mom said that it used to be. So my family grew up in this area, and that was the one thing I remember that like both my mom and my dad told me, is there used to be a window and you could look into the pool. I'm like, who the fuck would want to do that?
Yeah.
Hey, Auntie, what's going on?
Not much.
Hey, I'm doing a podcast right now, and so you're on the podcast, so I'll fill you in later on what's going on with my mom and everything. So the hotel that's on the corner of E Street,
free Wi-Fi
in Marysville, you know, and it had like it's the ugly one. It's like a budget now. It had like the Chinese food and barbecue restaurant.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The piece of shit right there.
Yeah.
Am I crazy that Mom and Dad told me once that there used to be like a bar or something like that where you went down and it had a window where you could see into the pool?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And then somebody bombed the pool.
They what?
Bombed the pool.
They bombed it with like a cherry bomb.
They bombed the pool and filled the bar up full of water, yeah.
Oh. So they just took everything out all one big old thing. Because I was like, I don't even know if there's a pool there anymore. Not that you'd want it.
I don't think there is. I
think it's the manager's office now.
It's probably the manager's office. It's like, it's a little moldy, but it's cool. Like, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Okay, I just want to make sure I wasn't crazy because we had to pull it up because I couldn't remember the name of it. And I was like, there was a restaurant there that there was no way in hell you could ever get me to set foot into it, and they were serving food out of it.
No, I don't think so either.
No, it was terrible. Well, now it's for lease. I mean, the restaurant's for lease, so this too could be yours.
Great, yeah.
You know, if you wanted to open up maybe a fish and chips or something there, you could.
I don't think I've ever stepped foot in the place.
Good for you. This is probably why you've avoided having athlete's foot so far.
That's why I'm still alive.
You didn't get scabies yet. Good for you. Shit. Okay, well, I'll call and talk to you later. Thank you.
Okay, honey.
Love you.
Love you too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it right there from a lady who grew up there.
Yep.
It used to be that you could do it. Someone bombed the pool and flooded the bar. See, I'm glad I called because I would have never known that.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, be careful where you stay, people. And maybe if you go to Santa Cruz, as Travis says now, just, you know what, Heather, just spend the extra $40 and take us like a mile or two inland. Like, I don't need to be close to the boardwalk. I was like, it wasn't for the boardwalk, I swear.
Low budget vacation ideas.
So better yet, I took some of these highlights of the story and I told Gus about them when I picked him up the next day after I got home.
Yeah.
And then I waited because I'm taking the kids down to Santa Cruz next weekend. And, I said something to him and he was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, and Nick goes, but we're staying in an Airbnb. And Gus goes, Mom, we're staying in an Airbnb, right? And I said, no. They told me they were going to clean up the rooms before we go down and stay. We're just going to the same place. And he was like, fuck you.
They promised.
They said they'd clean it. It's totally cool. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. You could use the indoor pool. Yeah. It'll be great, Gus. And he's like, absolutely not. No, I am taking them to an Airbnb. Hopefully it'll be cleaner.
Don't worry about the pee stains.
Don't worry about the pee stains. What were the stains? So the other thing that we've decided on is maybe get a black light.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And then just blacklight our rooms. And I was like, but then we could never stay anywhere ever again. But I think that's a good bit. That would make good TikToks. Blacklighting my room. I'd be banned from every fucking hotel ever.
A black light and a steam cleaner.
Don't worry, I cleaned it for you. I cleaned this jizz for you. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Then you leave the room for 3 hours so that it can dry.
I'm gonna get a black light.
I would.
I'm gonna book the Surf City again.
Gross.
Poor Surf City.
You're in trouble now, Surf City.
Here it comes, Surf City, coming for you with a black light. All your jizz and blood.
Yeah. Surf City.
Just like a big old fucking just massacre scene in every room.
Somewhere in San Jose, California, Santa Cruz area.
So then I was singing the Surf City song, by the way, the whole way home, which I'm sure Travis really enjoyed. He was like, please stop. I made him listen to it in the car. I pulled it up on iTunes. Here you go. Surf City, here we come. That's why my review started with, this is not the Surf City Jan and Dean sung about. So yeah, and by the way, there was a lot of other fine-looking establishments down there that probably could have been just as great as Surf City. So please be careful.
Yep.
Please be careful.
Yeah. Budget Inn, Surf City, and what used to be the Fremont Inn, which is no longer. It's now an Asian shopping center.
All for your pleasure.
Yep.
All right. Thanks for listening, kids.
Have a good night.